Getting a termite inspection is a huge thing. It is a cost that you have to do, but I look at it as an investment. And we're going to learn from Jeremy today, some of the reasons why you want to get a pest inspection, the different things to look out for. You mentioned some really interesting things about different types of termites, misting, and bed bugs.
Right.
And so I'd like to talk about, first off, why, assuming that a lot of people that are watching this are first-time buyers,
right,
millennials, why does somebody, when they're making the biggest investment of their life, why they shouldn't skimp over a $150 termite report? Why is it so important that you need to have a termite inspection?
Right. Well, termites, most people think termites and it strikes fear in them because they think, their house is going to fall down, collapse, all that sort of thing. And they do a lot of damage. But mainly if you're buying a home, you want to know what's going on with it, right?
Right.
You can, but not only the things that you can see,
right,
but also things that somebody like, one of our guys, one of our inspectors who has specialized knowledge will be able to find that you don't see as easily, right, with termite damage. So the main thing with termites is you want to find any sort of entry points where they're coming into the home, and are they existing damage? Is it previous damage?
Yeah.
Do they have active termites? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially now you want to find out what type of termite that it is, because here in Harris County and Houston and certain areas of the city, namely more the east and southeast area, you may have a type of termite like the Formosan termite, which is which is an invasive species that's really becoming more active. We're finding, we used to find maybe 1 in 10 occurrences of Formosans over the last 3 to 5 years or so. Now it's as much as like 7 out of 10 houses we're finding in more of the eastern, southeastern area, and even as far north as kind of the Humboldt, Atascocita area, where these Formosans are at, and they're much more of an aggressive termite. Can cause a lot of damage really quick.
Yeah. Now on that though, I guess the key takeaway on that though. So let's say that someone's buying a house and it does have these termites. Does that mean they shouldn't buy the house?
Not necessarily. It just depends on the extent of damage, I guess, and like, there's a lot of factors that go in on a decision. A lot of times it comes down between this house and this house, and if all things were equal and you found out this one had termites, existing termites, you get in and see the damage that's done, and you have one that's not, maybe that is a deciding factor. But if you love a house and they have termites, an average termite treatment may be anywhere from 900 to 1,800, just depends on the scope of work that needs to be done.
Right. And
then also the damage, that needs to be fixed. We've seen damage that's very extensive because it was just a matter not treated. It's just gone for a long time, but they didn't notice it. Versus, we were able to catch them almost right away. Yeah. So it just depends on the extent of damage.
Right. Now talk to me about, I know you mentioned bed bugs. So is that something that you look at? Can you find that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time with bed bugs, we get the call because, people will notice bites. Being in Houston, they think that maybe it's mosquitoes. But then it goes on and they notice them when they wake up. Or sometimes they may see them, which really freaks them out.
You can see a bed bug?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, bed bug's about the size, well, an adult bed bug's about the size of a tick.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Thank you.
We just purchased another home, and I woke up and I had this mark on my back. I thought it was a roach.
Yeah?
I thought a roach bit me.
Angelo, you probably have bed bugs.
I probably do, because I never had it in my other house.
Right.
But I woke up and I saw this little roach over there, and I thought, oh, that was maybe him. He did that.
Roaches won't bite like that.
Okay.
And here's the stigma with bed bugs. Like, most people think, how do I have bed bugs? We got a clean house, right? But bed bugs are 100%, they're hitchhikers. So someone that has bed bugs or has been somewhere that has bed bugs, we do bed bug jobs in apartments and $1 million homes, and people are like almost offended, with it, but because of the stigma of,
dirty or something.
that they're dirty.
Yeah.
Bed bugs, they don't care, if your house is clean or dirty as much as they want to eat. And what do they eat? They eat blood.
Oh, wow, they eat blood.
Yeah, that's all they eat.
Oh my God.
That's all they eat is blood. So wherever they're like, wherever food is, they'll go And like for instance, let's say you have kids have a slumber party. There's a kid that has bed bugs at their house, right? And they come over, spend the night. They've got their backpack, they've got their other bags, and they have bed bugs in them. And they'll come and put their bags down and
that's
dude,
how it happens.
now you got bed bugs.
Wow.
And they're hitchhikers. Maybe somebody at work has them, and they're coming to work and bringing a purse, bringing a bag, bringing
no way,
whatever. And that's another thing that we're dealing with right now is the workplace. Because it may be known that somebody at work has them, and so then it just comes down to
living in a bubble, huh?
Exactly. So, but in a home buying and selling situation, we've had situations where people have purchased a home and they get all excited, buying a new home. It's way exciting. They move all their stuff in, and then all of a sudden they notice right away bites.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
And then it turns out that the previous owners had bed bugs.
Yeah.
And they moved out and sold you this house, and you have to deal with it because they don't just go away.
No, it's a pain. But that's something you can get rid of.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
okay.
we can do that.
Okay. Now and then
it's an extensive process. I mean, it's not just spray some stuff here and it's good. I mean, you have to treat every room, every sleeping area.
Okay.
It's we do a three service program, but we have 100% confidence.
Let me ask this now. Have you ever had any, or do you deal with any rats or mice?
Yes.
Stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Rodents a big issue here.
Yeah, because I don't know. We owned a house one time, and some rats got up into, somehow they went up through the
air conditioning duct.
Well, no, to the side. Yeah, something like that. And they got up into the chimney, into the attic.
Yeah.
So how do you prevent like that type of?
Yeah, rats are a big issue. We do a lot of what we call rodent exclusion work, to where our guys will go and identify entry points. How are the rats getting in? The rats are just like us. They need food, water, and shelter, right? And so typically where we get most of our rodent calls are in the wintertime as the temperature drops. They'll come from their outside nesting areas, make their way inside and to nest. And so usually they make their way to the attic. And so our guys will go around and inspect and block entry points that the rodents have. We'll set traps on the inside, bait on the outside, and just try to exclude from areas of entry for rats, mice, raccoons, possums.
Yeah, possum. Yeah,
all that sort of thing.
Okay, so now as far as your service, do people call you when there's a problem, or can they have you come out monthly to service them, or how does that work?
It's a great question. We do both. A lot of people are reactive with pest control, right? So they see something, they call, hey, fix it, and then they're done. They don't want it anymore. But most people are more proactive. They're like, look, I don't like roaches. I don't want to see them. Yeah. And so we put them on a service program, and we do our service program every 2 months. Kind of the industry norm is quarterly, right? You always hear about coming out quarterly. Well, what we found is our customers on our quarterly service cancel at a higher rate than our bi-monthly every 2 months, because they're unhappy with the quality of service. But what it is Houston's climate is really harsh.
Yes.
You have thunderstorms, for like it has in the last several weeks. It's rained. A lot, right?
Yeah,
and the two things that break down the product the quickest are moisture and then the direct ultraviolet rays from the sun. So we set our pricing structure to where we come out every 2 months. It's very competitive with a lot of other people's quarterly, and it costs me more money to do it every 2 months, more operational costs, but it's a better service.
Right.
I mean, hands down, our customers on our bi-monthly have a longer. They stay with us longer.
Right.
Because we're giving more attention more frequently to the house. And even on that, if they have problems anytime in between, it's free. So if they're on a service program.
That's nice. One thing you mentioned earlier, you said that a lot of people, they try to, when they're looking to get a termite report, they try to skate and go the cheap way out. So I wanted to talk about why it's worth it to do a more thorough inspection. And the other thing I want to, some of our viewers are all over the country.
Okay. So
what do they need to look out for as far as identifying a pest control company? Is there things that are like, hey, stay away from this type of company, go to this type of company?
Yeah.
Like those type of, is there
that would be hard to say, as a broad statement, but I think how long a company's been around is says a lot about them. We're starting summer number 16, which is
right. It's amazing.
I've got a picture on my office wall of me and my daughter washing my first truck, and she's 3, and which is really cool. Now she's getting ready to start driving,
wow.
which is wild. But so we've been around a lot, for a while, and I think that's important,
right.
To
well, sure,
for people to know that. But getting back to like why they shouldn't skimp on the termite inspection is there's a lot of companies that will do them for anywhere from 60 to 70, but a good quality, what's called wood destroying insect report, is going to take a few hours to do it properly.
Okay.
And I don't that takes a while, which costs money to do that.
Right.
But just like most everything else, you get what you pay for.
There you go.
We've been to houses that have had termites soon after they've, and I can't say whether they had them at the time when they bought it. Maybe they didn't, and maybe they just got them or whatever. But on some reports that we look at, there's a lot of things marked as inaccessible. We couldn't do that, couldn't do this, and where it's hard to believe that they couldn't.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Access the attic, because that's an important thing to inspect because you can find signs of termites up there.
Right.
So it's just the $60-$70 insect report, wood destroying insect report, that's just not our thing. We want to make sure we're doing a good job, and we're going to spend the time to do it, which it costs a little more.
Right. But you're saying it's worth it because you could, you
could
shoot yourself in the foot if there is a problem.
Because trying to get that company to honor whatever warranty they're going to give, if they're doing it for $60 or $70, it's going to be more hassle than spending a little more, which I understand in the home buying process. Sometimes you're counting pennies and dollars, trying to get the closing costs and everything, but it's important to not skimp on that.
No, I agree. I mean, every closing we do, we recommend that they get one. And so because it's not a requirement when you're buying a house, but it's
correct.
Something we definitely. Actually, the USDA loan they do require.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, USDA does.
Depends
require,
on the type of loan.
And I think actually VA does too.
They do.
Yeah, requires a pest report. So, okay. So the now one other thing I wanted to touch on that you talked about earlier was the misting system.
Yeah.
So can you kind of hit on that for a
sure.
second? Okay.
So misting systems are targeted for mosquitoes, right? So mosquitoes are a big issue here in Houston. Especially here in the last few years, as all the talk of the Zika virus, and which is actually one of the Zika virus is very, very important to
real?
know about. Oh, sure, yeah. The Zika virus is.
Okay. I didn't know if that something Donald Trump made up.
No.
Okay.
No, it's very real.
Okay.
In the news, from Brazil, it's a virus that's spread by mosquitoes. And to you and I, it just may make us sick, more like a flu type thing.
Okay.
The danger with the Zika virus is with women that are pregnant, because there's a percentage of women that get the Zika virus where it affects the fetus, and so to where where they are born with something called microcephaly, and that's the danger, to the point that when their cases of microcephaly went from the average number to skyrocketing by whatever 1,000%, they were actually in 2015 actually recommended women to not get pregnant until we figure out what's going on here. So we actually have had localized cases now of Zika here in the U.S. And so with this spring, though, being as dry as it has been in Houston, mosquito activity has been way low. But even just in the last few weeks with this rain, it's been mosquitoes. We're getting mosquito calls, and it's really picking up. But with the misting system, to answer that, the reason why a lot of people feel like those are important is because they're set on a timer. Mm-hmm. They release product every certain amount of however long, and it will knock mosquitoes out, in that area. The problem with the misting systems are, if you're buying a home that has one, you're thinking, oh, great, I don't have to pay for it. It's already there. But they require a lot of maintenance, to the point that we don't do them anymore, because we spent so much time replacing nozzles, replacing lines, and all that. So what we do instead, and that's what will happen. If you have a mosquito system hasn't been used for 6 months, 8 months, the lines are corroded, the nozzles are clogged, and you almost have to replace the whole system.
Okay.
And plus they're about $3,000 on average
okay.
to install, to get one going. They're very expensive, and then the maintenance is a lot. Instead, what we do is we do a backpack misting barrier treatment, to where our guys monthly go out with their backpack blowers and put a barrier treatment on all the areas where mosquitoes will nest and hide during the heat of the day, like focusing on landscape areas, shaded areas, and we have really good results with our backpack.
If you own
system.
a pool, would that increase the rate of mosquitoes?
It could. What happens is people with pools and things like that draw them out in the yard more, they notice mosquitoes more because they're out more.
Okay.
So the pool doesn't necessarily.
Like with all the landscaping, though, like the palm trees and all those type of things.
That sort of thing will attract mosquitoes because what they do is they nest and hide underneath the leaves during the heat of the day.
Okay.
And so we target those areas with our backpacks, and that really knocks them out.
No, I'm glad you came on that. We'll start. I mean, I'll definitely have my wife give you a call. So we'll start using you. We have a pool.
Okay.
And I was thinking about that because you probably have, that type of thing going on. So
we could definitely help you.
Much more knowledgeable than the ones that I've seen at my house.
Okay.
But no, man. I mean, it's been very interesting. I mean, so if people want to get in touch with you, how do they? Do you have a website? Do you have a phone number? How do
absolutely.
we
even if they just have questions, bug questions, they can contact us on our website. It's preventivepesthouston.com is our website.
Okay.
You can find us there and search for Preventive Pest Control here in Houston if you want to look for our site.
PreventivePestControl.com.
It's Preventive Pest Houston.
Oh, Preventive Pest Houston.
Actually, I have a brand new site that just launched.
Okay, guys, remember
evidently need to get my
PreventivePestHouston.com. Make sure we add that to the slides for him.
Yeah, so I need to update my card.
Okay, yeah. And then if somebody, do they just call you to make an appointment, or?
Yeah, you can call our office. Any one of our office people will be able to help you.
Okay.
And if they have questions, we have my branch manager, service manager. I'm there. If the ladies in the office can't help, but we do weekly training with the ladies as well, so they're up to date on pest stuff. But if they can't answer questions, then we're available to help out also.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, I can't stress the importance of, guys, if you're looking to buy a house or you're selling a house, definitely give Jeremy a call. I mean, he seems like a phenomenal guy. If you're in Houston area, do you service all of Houston? Or?
Yeah, anywhere as far north, even north of Conroe, all the way to Galveston, way out Baytown.
Yeah, awesome.
West keeps building stuff, and so we keep going further and further out. So wherever you are, if you're in the Houston area, we can get you taken care of.
Okay, so guys, if you're out there and you're looking to buy a house or selling, give Jeremy a call. Preventive Pest Control. The slides will be up with the website and his phone number. Thank you so much for coming out today.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, very nice to meet you guys. I hope this was great for you guys. Everyone liked it. We'll be back next week with another edition of Real Estate Insider. Y'all take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.